Hello and welcome to Module 8 of the Maker Manager program. Today's focus is on building a maker community. As you are nearing the end of this particular course, you have a well-developed idea now of what a makerspace looks like, what happens in a makerspace, the projects that take place in a makerspace, how you're going to organize the stuff, and now really the focus turns to the support and sustainability of your makerspace. And we have found it very, very valuable to spend some time focusing on building a maker community. This is going to look a little bit different based on what type of makerspace you have. For an educational facility, this is going to be really heavily focused on the school community, the students and the parents within that building. If you have a community-based organization, makerspace, your focus may be more on community partners and those who can provide additional funding to your space. So we'll kind of look at this in two different ways. First and foremost, regardless of what type of makerspace you have, the focus should be on students. They are going to be the ones who are in that space day after day. They're the ones who are completing the projects. And as they begin to develop an understanding of a makerspace and that it is a safe to fail zone, they see the benefit of problem solving and collaborating, and they start to gain a confidence in those areas. And so first and foremost, we want those kids to be excited about the makerspace, because those students of yours go home and they talk about what they did in the makerspace with their parents at the dinner table at night. And that second group we want to focus on are those parents, because they probably are going to be your biggest cheerleaders. Parents have a lot of say in where they send their kids to school and what happens in those schools. And those parents are going to be the ones that are also speaking about their child and the fun that they have and the activities that they're learning in their makerspace. And we want them to understand that hands-on learning is not an alternative way to learn, but what modern learning looks like. And if they can speak on your behalf in the community, that really goes a long way. The third group we want to focus on are the community members. If you can access local organizations that are naturally geared towards making, you have a much greater chance of having a successful makerspace because of the support they can give you. So things like local colleges that have a STEM education program, or getting the opportunity to bring in college students who would volunteer their time in your makerspace just to be an additional set of hands. A lot of businesses will offer financial support. So if you go to that business and say, we're looking to replace these specific consumables, it costs $200, would you be willing to make a donation? You'd be surprised. And that old saying of, what's the worst they can say is no. Go for it, try it. You might have the most luck, and I love this part about a makerspace, by reaching out to your local retirement communities. In my own classroom, we had a 55 and older community that was right next door to our school, and we partnered with them in a number of ways. But just imagining, those grandparent-like people who were woodworkers or builders in their former job, that have some really valuable knowledge to contribute to the students that you have in your makerspace. And in addition to that, financial contributions that can be made, as we mentioned earlier, to sustain that makerspace as well. 3 really important groups to reach out to. So one way that you can reach all 3 of these groups at the same time is by hosting a community STEM night. I have seen this work in so many levels across the state of Indiana and beyond, as a way to show off what students have completed in the makerspace, to make a connection to families within the school building, and to invite community members to participate in. And it hits all 3 at the same time with one successful event. So the Maker Manager Invent to Learn book offers some helpful tips in hosting a successful community STEM night. Provide hands-on activities. That should be a no-brainer. Advertise it well. Invite school and organization board members, and invite the press. Nothing can go better for you if you get good press. And so share what's happening at this event. offer student-made items to sell as a fundraising opportunity. We're going to talk about Rebecca Bersani that you can see here in just a moment, but she does a fantastic job with her STEM night, and part of the STEM night is doing a silent auction with items that students have made in the makerspace throughout the year. So you come into this table and you've got a table full of items that are for sale. Now a parent may just find their child's and pay $1 for that item. Awesome. That's $1 you didn't have going towards your makerspace that now you do. And so involve grandparents and parents in that silent auction to raise money as a fundraiser. Host the event for no longer than 2 or 3 hours. Doesn't need to be crazy in length. Encourage local community businesses to provide activities or real world problems to solve. One of the events at Rebecca's, or one of the participants at Rebecca's, makes dry ice cream. And so they're pulling in the science part with a treat that can be purchased as a part of the STEM night. There are other local businesses of all kinds that have some type of making connection or a science connection to pull in that art piece. There's so many ways that you can hit that. And the last one is to think about a variety of STEM activities. Don't forget robotics. Don't forget easy recyclable builds. Make and take food is kind of fun to think about. What we've included in this particular module or section of the Maker Manager program is the flyer for Rebecca Bersani, who is a former Maker Manager for First Makerspace. We've included the flyer that she created for their STEM night so that you have something to kind of look at as a guide as you begin to think about, okay, we've got this makerspace, we're settled in now, we're doing our routine. How do we take this to the next level? Let's think about a STEM night. As always, we at First Makerspace are happy to help you with talking through that, planning, giving ideas, so please reach out as needed.